Hello, and welcome to TLC, Thriving Leader Collaborative Time. Happy that you've joined in today because I want to speak to you about setting goals. Who doesn't like to set goals? All right, maybe not all of you. I personally love to set goals, and I want to back up a little bit and talk about why we set goals and what might be important to how you set goals. Back when I was in corporate America and even in roles as a CEO, the goals were always set from the perspective of strategic priorities. Where did those come from? So the organization had a vision and we had a mission and values that, as you've heard me talk about before, but based on that long-term vision, there were strategic priorities year over year. So there'd be a 3-year plan and a 5-year plan, and we'd create goals sometimes under pillars, people pillar, profit pillar, so on and so forth, that related to that long-term vision, that strategic priority that the organization was moving towards. It can be the same for you. So I've spoken before about a tool called the Wheel of Life. And actually recently I was offered by email the Wheel of Life by Deepak Chopra. So it's out there in the public domain everywhere, and you can see our version on the Thriving Leader Collaborative website, thrivingleadercollaborative.com. There are many different versions, and what's the point of the Wheel of Life? The idea is that you take a look at your own life and you create a wheel, and you decide what are the key components of that wheel that are most important to you. A lot of them revolve around words that start with F, so maybe friends and family, fun and recreation, or fitness, and even faith or perhaps spirituality. There are lots of different components of one's life that you would sort this wheel into, and they can be different. I actually, when I work with clients, sometimes I offer them the Wheel of Life without the list. And the reason for that is we all see it differently. You know, one person might say, faith is a priority for me, and the other person says spirituality, personal growth. And we're okay to look at things differently and to think about what are the key components for our lives. And then most of the tools say divide the pie that you're going to create into 8 slices because it's easier to make 8, I would suppose. But how many priorities do you have? Like, make it up. You can decide yourself. You can make it 6, 5, 7, what have you, as long as it feels right to you and the pie is sorted into the strategic priorities that make up your life. And then you determine where you're going to score yourself currently. So the middle, the bullseye, is 0, 10's on the outside. So realistically, where are you now? And I'd offer that when you score something from a 1 to a 3, somewhere low on that spectrum, perhaps you would say you're suffering in that area. And when you score yourself a 4, 5, or 6, you might say you're surviving in that particular domain. And when you score yourself a 7 to a 10, you're thriving in that domain. Anyway, I've spoken about this before, but I'm talking about it today because I would like to invite you to do the Wheel of Life as the starting point for creating your goals for the coming year. So what I mean is you create the wheel, you look at the big picture that is your life, and you look at those areas in which you might be suffering or simply surviving, and you choose 2 or 3 of them that you want to improve upon over time, and then you set the goal. So let's say that it's friends and family. You might say, I endeavor to go out once a month with my family, or twice a month, and twice a month with my friends. And you set that goal. And then from there, you heard me talk about this before too, you're going to calendar when you're going to do that thing exactly. And then your chances of meeting that goal improve exponentially because you've put it down on paper. First, you start it with your strategic priorities, and then you teased out of those priorities exactly where you'll focus and where you will set some meaningful goals. And have an accountability buddy, whether that's your partner, a friend, a family member, somebody that you might share this with and say, in order for me to feel as though I'm thriving, to truly be thriving in 2024, here are the goals I've set for myself. And revisit them. So set them, and perhaps you say, I'm going to do this in Q1 until it becomes a habit, and then I'm going to do this in Q2, and so on and so forth. So we have lots of resources to help you, particularly when you get stuck in how you're going to calendar things or the habits that you're going to create. So be sure to check out the resources at thrivingleadercollaborative.com and our recently added app by the same name. You can search it on whichever resource that you use, whichever phone that you use, and we hope that we engage with you there. Thanks for tuning in.